Hello to all my dear CA Foundation students. Today I am going to discuss this topic from Negotiable Instruments Act, Dishonour of Cheque due to insufficiency of funds. And wait for that one last example that we are going to discuss, a very interesting and an important example as well. So, we already know that if I have issued a cheque and after the issue of the check, if the check is dishonored, so let us say Mr. A, he had issued a check, he had to make a payment to Mr. B. So he issued a check of 5 lakh rupees to Mr. B. Now Mr. B goes happy, I'm going to get my money. Happily he goes to the bank to encash the check to get the money. When he goes to the bank, he gives the check to the bank. Bank says we will collect the money. Then suddenly he gets a notice from his bank that the check has been dishonored. Dishonored means the payment on the check has not been made. B was like, what happened? Why is the payment not made? He says that the check has been dishonored due to lack of funds in A's accounts, insufficient funds in A's account. Now, see, if this happens, no, every person will issue checks. They don't have money, they will issue checks. Check will be dishonored, and now we have nothing to do. So, to create a faith on this whole banking system, the lawmakers said that if something like this happens, then A should be punished. So, where you have issued the check, and after the issue of the check is dishonored because your bank account does not have sufficient funds. This is considered as an offense, and the punishment shall be twice the amount of check, up to twice the amount of check, fine of up to twice the amount of check, or imprisonment of up to 2 years, or both. Right? So, this is the punishment. But you cannot just punish. Like, for example, let's say A actually had funds in his accounts, in his bank. He gave the check to B and he told him, please get the check presented and take the money. I have a balance in my account. But let's say due to some reason B did not do, and A had to make some other payment. He made the payment. He thought the payment money is there, payment is there. He made it. So it could be a genuine mistake. That is, he is not doing it on purpose. It could be a genuine mistake. In that case, do you think it is justified that we punish A? No. Law doesn't say that punish everyone. Law says if you're doing it on purpose, then you should be punished. So, before you punish the person, there are a few things that has to be taken care of. First of all, the check has been presented for a lawful payment. Okay. The check has been presented for a lawful payment. So the check has been presented for a lawful payment, or it is, you can also call it as a discharge of liability. So what does this mean? A, I told you had to pay money to B. So this check was not given just as a gift or a donation. It was given for a payment. Now let's say you are getting married. You call me. Obviously you'll call me. So I come and I give you a check of 1 lakh as a gift for your marriage. You're like, oh my God, my honeymoon expenses ma'am has paid. Very happy. The cameraman is zooming the camera on my check of 1 lakh. Everyone is like, oh my God. And those who have already married, already all my students married. Yo, I should have called ma'am. I gave you the check. After some days, you present it. You present the check and you're happy. I'm going on my honeymoon. Expense given by ma'am. You present the check and the check is dishonored due to lack of funds. You are like, oh, ma'am, you created a name for yourself by giving me that check. Now I'm going to sue you. And you have taught me the law. I'm going to sue you. You go to file a case against me. I am happy. Nothing is going to happen to me. Why? Because it was a gift. It was not in discharge of a liability. So the first point says that the payment has been made for the discharge of a liability. Second, it should be presented within the time. See, no, a check has to be presented within 3 months. If a check is in the market for more than 3 months, it becomes a stale check. So, as per the validity of the check or 3 months, whichever is earlier, the check must be presented, right? So, let's say you have kept the check. I gave you that 1 lakh check as a gift for your marriage. You're like, no. My son's naming ceremony money will come out of this only. So you are waiting for your son to come for your naming ceremony. You will use this check. You have kept it full, laminated and everything. This check will be used then only. Finally, after 2 years, you are blessed with a son also. Now you are going into the bank to cash it. Do you think the bank will take that check? No, it was not presented within the time. Then this is the point where we really need to understand that A might have genuinely not made a mistake or had not done it on purpose. So, when the bank informs B that the check has been dishonored, within 30 days of getting this notice, okay, within 30 days of getting this notice from the bank, he should demand payment from A. That look, A, your check has been dishonored. Please pay me. Once this notice is given to A, within 15 days of getting this demand for payment, A should pay the money. If he pays well and good, if within 15 days he does not pay, then you can go and sue him. Right? So you cannot just, once it's dishonored, you cannot just directly go and file a case against him. You must first go to whom? You must first go to the bank, to A. Tell him that, look, the check has been dishonored. And then A might pay the money. If A pays, fine. If A does not pay, then you will go and file a case against A. Now, another interesting, this is a very interesting case. Please listen to this carefully. Before that, you need motivation. We also need motivation. If this video helps you, please leave a like and a comment. No, helps us to know that we are also doing the right thing. Now, moving on to this case, please listen to this case very carefully. A had to pay B 5 lakh, but A had no money. B was telling him every day, please pay, please pay, please pay, but he did not have the money. So, what to do? He issued a check. Does he have money? No. He issued a check. He issued a check, but now he told B, please don't present it for 5 days. Present it after 6 days. Okay, B was like, okay, no problem. In the meantime, A goes to his bank and stops payment on the check. Can you stop payment on your check? Yes, you can give a notice to the bank after you've issued a check. Due to any reason you want to stop payment, you can give a notice to the bank that don't pay the amount on this check. And this is known as stop payment. Can you do that? Yes, you can do that. So you go to the bank and you tell them, please don't pay on the check. That is, you stop payment. Fine. Now, after 5 days, be presents. You have already given an order for stop payment. So do you think the bank will pay? No, the bank does not pay. So now what has happened? The check has been dishonored. So now B comes to A and says, look, A, your check has been dishonored. I'm going to sue you. A says, why will you sue me? See, Negotiable Instrument Act says that if there is a dishonor of check, you will be punished. Then A says, yo idiot, you don't study, adha gyan, khatarnak. At least you should have studied full. See what it says, dishonor of check due to insufficiency of funds. That means you are punishable only if your check has been dishonored due to insufficiency of funds. In this case, is my check dishonored due to insufficiency of funds? He says no. Why is it dishonored? Because of stop payment, bro. So how can you punish me? He's like, ayo, correct. He had stopped payment. That is why it was dishonored. So lawmakers said that if we do this, every person who has no money in his account will issue checks and then stop payment. So now they said, in case of stop payment also, we have to look at the reason for stop payment. What was the reason the check was stopped? Is it due to insufficiency of funds? The reason you stopped payment on the check, is it due to insufficiency of funds? If yes, you will still be punished under 138. That means here the check was dishonored due to stop payment. And this section says that you are punishable only when your check is dishonored due to insufficiency of funds. Here, the check was dishonored due to stop payment. Right? So, as per law, you are not punishable. But now the lawmakers said, look at the reason behind the stop payment. What was the reason? Was the reason that you had no money? If yes, you are still liable under section 138. But if there is other reason, that is, you stopped payment for other reason, not because of lack of funds, in that case, will you be punished under section 138? No. I hope this concept is clear to all of you. Happy learning and stay motivated.